I'm Adriana Martinez Mendy-Belson, and I'm a student of the Reading English as a Second Language at the University UNAT. Today, I'm going to talk about tech tips. Nowadays, the use of ICT tools is very common in TEFL and ESL classroom because they are really good, easy, and helpful tools and resources that facilitate to the students the learning of the language skills that are listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You can find a lot of resources that we can combine with a specific skill. In fact, we used to think that we know how to use the resources, but sometimes we make mistakes that result in ruining our classes or the motivation of our students. Today, I want to give you some advices about what tech or ICT tools you can use, why to use them, and how to do it in the correct way. So pay attention to this, in special if you're starting to use ICT or tech tools in your TEFL or ESL classes. I'm going to start talking about blogs. Blogs provide for students great opportunities to practice their reading and writing skills. LiveJournal, EduBlog, and Blogger are some of the blog pages that allow you to create blogs for free. Use this tool is very useful because students don't just practice the reading and writing, they also put more effort into their task because there they have a wider audience which even can comment about the content of their blogs. Also, blogs provide the opportunity for family members to see what their students are working on in class and allow the collaborative work. Now, how can we use this tool? Listen to the tips. Tip 1. Teachers have to be creative and understand the tastes and desires of their students. So you have to get your students to write and read about specific topics that they find interesting and they like. Or you can push your students to comment on current events and social justice issues that they consider important and necessary. Remember that the opinion of your students has an important role in your classes. Tip 2. Take into account if your students can manage the blog, because if they don't know how to do it, they are going to feel lost and the purpose of this tool is going to be worthless for them. So to avoid this, you might consider letting students use the blogs during the class and after the class. And you have to make sure that your students learn how to use it before do big or difficult tasks. Tip 3. Regarding to reading blogs, you might start posting the articles that students learn in class. Then, when your students have learned how to use the blogs, you could consider posting the readings that students don't learn in class. But also, it's important that if teachers are going to post extra readings, those have to be according to the students' English reading abilities. And after students make progress, teachers could post the readings of longer content in their blogs. Our second ICT tool is WebQuest. WebQuest are a fun way for students to use the internet to build English proficiency. With this resource, students are given a task and rely on their content and grasp of English language to complete it. Teachers can create their own or visit the WebQuest page to access tutorials and databases of pre-created WebQuest. Now, how can we use this tool? Here are some tips. Tip 1. Give to the students the directions about what material used to successfully complete the task, avoiding unnecessary and time-consuming searches. Tip 2. Allow enough time for students to analyze, critically evaluate, and assess the collected information to give a central and deep solution to the task. In this way, the students will learn how to use the web as a source for learning beyond the assigned task. Tip 3. Boost the collaborative work between your students through the use of schedules to plan the learner's study about where to work, when to work, and with whom. ICT tools should be used in ways that are consistent with EFL and ESL good practice. For example, to provide a rich content, to build on prior knowledge, to scaffold language and learning, and to provide opportunities for collaborative learning. Remember that education doesn't have to only embrace the internet, but also have to equip students with the abilities to use it wisely, productively, and for the benefit of the society. To achieve that, educators can try to integrate information and technologies into the classroom as an instructional aid and as a tool to facilitate learning. Finally, remember to always boast the collaborative work as the best way to the students provide the abilities. Don't let that the students just receive the information in a passive way, boast them to use it in an active way to beat a certain objective. Combine all the tools and all the abilities with the things that your students like and love, as well as with modern topics and situations. Be creative and maintain your class motivated. Try that your students always know the benefits of the activities that they are doing and let that they involve in their learning process. We are in 21st century and the technology is the key and the answer to a successful teaching learning process. But we are who manage those tools and those technologies. So use it as much as you can and want, but don't forget that the use of technologies doesn't replace the role of the teacher in the classroom. Thanks.